I'm Idiotech, and this is my review of Hitman Episode 1 for PC. Let's talk about the positive things first. It's always good to start off on a positive note. The gameplay is actually really fun this time around. It's a lot more like Blood Money. Now, if you don't know what Hitman is, it's a game about being an assassin. You play as Agent 47, you go into a map, you'll be given a target or even 2 or 3 to kill, and you'll have to do it in certain specific ways that the level requires you to do them in. So for example, I may have to kill a guy with a pistol, I may have to poison someone else, I may have to kill someone by accident, make it look like an accident, which is a nice system, and the Hitman games have always been very fun, very creative experiences, and they're very rewarding to people who want to invest the time and play a stealth game the way a stealth game should be played. I've liked all of the games so far. Blood Money was a very open world game. It had sort of pre-planning. You could go in there, plan your mission, explore a big open world environment and approach things in creative ways, whereas Absolution was a little bit more linear than that. It had various loading screens between certain sections of a level. It felt a lot more hand-holdy. And this is kind of a mix between the two. It has a lot of the assist systems that we saw in Absolution. You can, for example, see through walls, you can spot which kind of targets are going to notice you, depending on your disguise. So those sort of mechanics are there for the casual player. However, it does look a lot more like Blood Money on its surface. We have a much larger environment, no loading screens this time around, and we can pre-plan our missions going in so we can decide what kind of gear we want to take, where we want to enter, and things like that. From a gameplay perspective, this is a solid title. Now let's talk about the problems. It runs like shit, first of all. Now the game does not remotely utilize my GPU or CPU, and yet it underperforms. I constantly get frame rates in the 30s. In order to resolve this issue, I had to drop my settings for shadows down to medium, and now I get around 50-60 FPS. Now, compared to Absolution, which actually was a better looking game, it runs worse. Now, I understand that this is a lot more open, the environments are much larger, there's no loading screen, so that could account for some of that. However, it's not taxing my GPU or my CPU remotely, and I'm getting terrible frame rates, so there's clearly some optimization issues that need to be addressed. Another issue is that the game supports DirectX 12. Problem is, when you use DirectX 12, the game constantly crashes. Not cool. And finally, it has an always-on DRM connection system. It's a single-player game. Now, you can download contracts from other players and do that, and that's nice, but that doesn't warrant an always online system, and this is clearly just in place to combat piracy. However, systems like this encourage piracy, so well done Square Enix. The final negative thing to talk about really is the episodic nature of this game. It took me 2 hours to complete the content available here. This game is not served by its episodic nature. It's clearly a business decision to try and recoup some of the costs from an overly long production cycle. That doesn't serve the customer. I want to sit down and play the entire experience all the way through, experience the story, go from level to level, maybe replay some stuff to be creative here and there, but that's how I want to experience my Hitman game. Now, some people are going to want to go in there and make their own contracts and replay the same levels over and over again and try and get all the challenges and the achievements, and that's fine. If you're that type of person, maybe this episodic content stuff's fine for you. But for me, keeping my attention span for a year while you release new content, it's just not going to happen. It's a good game. The gameplay is good. It looks good. It sounds good. It's got some very impressive crowds, nice mechanics. It's good. Problem is that the business model surrounding it, the episodic content, the performance, and the always-on DRM system drag this down significantly. I'd like them to remove the online requirement, first of all, fix the performance issues, and then when the game's finally complete in 2017, I would probably highly recommend this game to you. But not right now, because it just simply doesn't have enough content to warrant a purchase, it doesn't run well, it crashes frequently, and the business model sucks, and the DRM sucks. So yeah, they basically took something great and ruined it with terrible business practices. Wonderful. Maybe it'll be good next year when it's finished, let's hope so, because underneath this terrible business stuff is a really solid core gameplay loop, and I would love to recommend it to you, but sadly I can't. If you found this video helpful or useful in some way, please let me know in the comments below. If you disagree with something I said, feel free to let me know also. And if you want to support the channel, please like, favorite, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.